before the Terran player suffered severe economic damage. And the Mutalisk continuing to just float above and being extremely annoying for this Terran player. He really needs some better anti-air or more Marines just kind of spread out along with turrets to help defend. But right now, SpoR is really committing to this Mutalisk army, and you guys can see microing his Mutalisk so much that he's not keeping on track with his resources in the bank. He's got a lot in the bank, 1,600, 800. That could be 8 more Mutalisks in the fight right now if our Zerg player was able to, you know, control that base a little bit better. And once again, SpoR trying to come in, just continuing to be annoying to the Terran player. If you guys are a Terran player facing up against this many Mutalisks, it's key to keep your Marines balled up. And you guys can see that Mishima here has overstimmed his Marines. You never want to overstim your Marines because now they're all in the red. Very fragile. And he doesn't have enough medevacs to heal them up, so basically that means that they're easy pickings for Mutalisks if they're not at full health, as well as not being able to stim up again, because you do need 10 health at least to use stim. So it's very important not to overstim. Use the stim when you're engaging the Mutalisks, but don't overdo it. Otherwise you could, you know, in the next battle, you'll definitely lose to those Mutalisks. And here we go. Terran player is starting to push out, but he is going to catch these Mutalisks pushing in, using stim yet again, not agreeing right there with that use of stim pack. You've got to use that sparingly. And really, this is what the Zerg player SpoR wants to do. Move in, make the Terran player think that he's going to engage, force him to stim, and just pull out, and continue to harass those workers. And oh no, a group of Marines actually getting caught apart away from the main ball and getting kind of taken out right there. As the Mutalisks are actually going to take out some of the dropships as well. Both dropships going down now. The Marines have no way to heal and basically no health to even stim. So the Mutalisks continuing to be annoying. Our Terran player, though, is staying on top of his macro, which is the only thing that is keeping him in this game right now. As you guys can see, his minerals and gas pretty decently low. So he is continuing to pump out more Marines, and finally getting a good attack there as the Zerg player mismanages and loses a lot of Mutalisks. So the Terran player catches a break. As you guys all know, small numbers of Marines are very weak against Mutalisks, but larger numbers of Marines actually absolutely dominate groups of Mutalisks. So right there, the Terran player catching a break. I'm surprised we haven't seen plus 10 health, the armor combat shield upgrade for the Terran player Mishima yet. That could really help in his battles against the Zerg Mutalisks. But as I said, this game was played a few weeks ago, so these two players are relatively new to Starcraft 2. And we can see SpoR actually switching over to more Zergling Muta build, which I do agree with, because Zerglings and Mutas combined are very effective against groups of Marines and Marauders. And actually, Mishima is going to push in, take out all the Spine Crawlers, and he's going to take out this inside expansion with no response seemingly from the Zerg player. Now the Zerg player SpoR moving in with drones in the front, Lings and Mutas up in the air as well, and this should clean out the Marine Marauder ball, but not before the Zerg player loses all of his drones at that expansion. But he was able to save his hatchery just before it goes down, only 190 health. I'm not sure I agree with the Zerg player using his drones to attack there, but it did save his expansion, so kudos for that. And now the Zerg player is going to have a dominant map control, because it takes a while for the Terran player to rebuild his Marine balls. So right now I'd expect, oh, 2 more dropships getting caught off guard. These dropships are full of Marines, so the Terran player attempting to do a drop around the perimeter of the map, getting picked off. Now the Zerg player in a huge advantage, even though he lost a lot of his drones. He's got full map control, and he can go in and attack at any time he pleases. And we haven't actually seen a hive. Yes, there is a hive up right now. So could we be seeing some more late game tier 3 units? It's going to be interesting as the Zerg player actually captures the 6 o'clock position for 2 more gas nodes as well as resources, and get his Spine Crawlers up at that inside expansion. The Terran player also getting an expo down here at the 8 o'clock position, and the Zerg's Mutalisks are in between the natural and that 8 o'clock, and SpoR is eventually going to move in. That is a lot of Mutalisks. So he could move in and just quickly take out this CC, or he could go in for the natural. I don't think the Zerg player knows about that 8 o'clock though. Once again, the Terran player stimming up to engage the Mutalisks, but really a wasted stim there, as the Zerg player is able to move away. Almost a wall of turrets here as Mishima realizes just how muta heavy his opponent is going. Meanwhile, just trying to look for the tier 3 tech and a greater Spire. So there is the tier 3 tech from the Zerg player. So the Zerg player is actually going to be going for Broodlords, although I'm not sure if you realize this, but Mutalisk cannot morph into Broodlords. It's actually the Corruptor that morphs into Broodlords, and he might not realize this. But he is going to move in and take out that entire wall of turrets. He's just got so many Mutalisks. That's almost 2 full groups of Mutalisks. The Terran player asking, where's the Irradiate? I need something to take care of those balls of mutas. And his opponent and the spectator saying, use Thor's or the heat-seeking missile from the Raven. And there are the Corruptors right there, so we are going to see Broodlords. But I do agree that the Raven would be the perfect counter against these balls of mutas. The Thor not so much, because the Thor, while it's good, it's kind of a slow unit. It's hard to deal with mutas if you've got a Thor. And one of the tech labs actually getting destroyed there, because once a Terran player's buildings go in the red, they do burn to death. So the Zerg player here is going to have Broodlords pretty soon, and Broodlords absolutely dominate pure marine infantry balls. So unless a Terran player goes with, you know, unless he gets some Ravens or something to deal with the Broodlords like Vikings, he could be in a lot of trouble. I'm not sure why the Zerg player destroyed those rocks there. But we're actually seeing Mishima move out with 3 almost full groups of Marines. Heavy Marine now, not so heavy on the Marauder. And he is going to stim up an early stim yet again. Not sure why Mishima uses those stims so aggressively, but he is going to push in here and try to do some damage. But here come the Broodlords. The Broodlords are starting to morph out of the cocoons from the Corruptors that we saw earlier. So now, what is Mishima going to do? He actually is just going to go ahead and attack. I don't know if he even realizes that Broodlords are in the game right now. He is probably going to take down this Expo. Yes, he does take down the hatchery. And all the drones going to go down as well. But oh no, here comes the Broodlords from the air above. They do really mess with the Marines' AI. And I think Mishima is going to have to fall back. Yes, he is going to fall back away from these deadly Broodlords, but he is going to get chased down by SpoR's mutas in the air, and here comes some backup Marines. No, Mishima's not going to engage. Some of them are engaging, then he brings out his Marines from behind, stims them up to fight. And really right now at this point, SpoR cannot afford to fight with pure mutas against that many Marines, and especially since they're +1, +2 right now, but no +10 HP, unfortunately, for Mishima. Yeah, SpoR cannot afford to fight with just his Mutalisks. He needs his Broodlords as well, and he is going to move out with these heavy hitters right now. They do have, I believe they have all +1 armor. Yes, they do. So it's going to be a big battle here. Oh no, no Marines inside that dropship, but Terran player now knows that there is another Expo being controlled by the Zerg, and he is going to move in with his Marine Marauders and probably take out this expansion before any reinforcements can arrive. Here comes the Mutalisks though. Just Mutalisks are not going to be able to take out this many Marines. They are going to have to wait for the Broodlord to come. So the hatchery goes down, the drones are going to run away to this 6 o'clock position, and here comes the Broodlords, and they are going to engage. If Mishima didn't know there were Broodlords before, he sure knows now, because those things really screw with the AI of the Marines, forcing them to actually attack the Broodlings and not attack the units that they need to. And there, even the spectator saying Broodlords really messed up with the AI. As the Mutalisks now, the Zerg player reigning dominant, and Thor's coming in for the Terran. The Thors actually do a lot of damage to air, I've got to say, but I don't know if they're going to be able to take out a Broodlord. It's going to be a big battle here. No more Marines really alive. All the Marines getting surrounded by the Broodlings, and now the Broodlords work on the Thors, and the Thors go down almost instantly to these Broodlings. This guy has got to make it out of there, and he is going to just barely make it out as the Broodlings die chasing him down. And Planetary Fortress goes down as well. Mishima GGGs, and that is that's game. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And he leaves the game, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. TVZ, pretty epic, using a little bit of late game tier 3 units. And it was interesting to see 2 pretty good players kind of just step into StarCraft 2, not really sure of the units and builds. But look forward to more recent games coming out soon on my channel. So thanks a lot, guys. HD signing out.